Hello class 8, I welcome you all in today's session of Geography. This video is the continuation of the chapter Asia, Location and Physiography. In the last video, we studied about the location of different countries of Asia. Today we will study about the major physiographical divisions of Asia. We will study about the northern lowlands. We will study about the central highlands, the southern plateaus, the river basins and valleys, and we will study about the islands. The northern lowland comprises of the Siberian plain, which is the largest lowland in the world. They have the world's largest and the most continuous plains. The northern lowlands are dominated by flat agricultural fields, small farming towns and lowlands rainforest. It spans the area east and west of the northern highways up to the Mexican border. These lowlands extend from the Bering Strait in the northeast and to the Ural mountain in the west. You can see the Bering Strait in the northeast to the Ural mountain in the west. They are wide to the west and taper towards the east. Thus, this area is the area of the extension is roughly triangular in shape. We can see it is wide in the west and taper in the east side. It is a bit taper in the east. So, it makes a triangular type shape. Mountains and plateaus interrupt these lowlands. Kolyma mountain lies in the east of the northern lowlands. The central Siberian plateau lies in the middle. The southwest part of the northern lowlands surrounds the Aral Sea. We can see the Aral Sea over here. This part is known as Turan Plain. In this map, we can see the West Siberian Plain and the Central Siberian Plain over here. So, the whole area is known as the Siberian Plains. This is the West Siberian Plain and this part is known as the Central Siberian Plain. The Aral Sea and the Caspian Sea are very large lakes. They are areas of inland drainage. We can see the Aral Sea over here and this is the Caspian Sea. So, these two seas are the area of inland drainage of the Siberian plains. The Amu Darya and the Sai Darya are the two main rivers that empty into the Aral Sea. We can see these two rivers are the main rivers, the Sai Darya and the Amu Darya. They empty their water in the Aral Sea. Lake Baikal is the world's deepest and the largest freshwater lake in the terms of volume. You can see Lake Baikal over here. It is also drained by three main rivers, namely the Ob, the Yansai and the Lena. You can see these rivers over here, the Ob, the Yansai and Lena river. All of them flow northward, and empty into the Arctic Ocean. So, we see that Lake Baikal is the largest and the deepest freshwater lake in the world in terms of its volume. In this area, the rivers flow northward and they empty itself in the Arctic Ocean. The northern region of the Siberian plain are covered by swamps. Swamps are low-lying areas where water is collected. These swamps form because the rivers draining the plains have their lower courses in the Arctic region. As a result, the lower course of these rivers freeze during the winter. Hence, water in their upper course spill over the surrounding plains since there is no outlet, giving rise to the vast marshland here. In the summer, these upper courses overflow due to melting of snow in their sources. At the sources, this causes flood in the lower regions. This makes the region unfit for cultivation. The Central Highland comprises of the world's most extensive mountain ranges. Hence, these are also known as the Central Mountain Belt. The Yangfol Mountains in this region have some of the world's highest mountain peak. Its nodal point is the Pamir Knot. Here we can see the Pamir Knot. So, the nodal point is the Pamir Knot, which is the highest plateau. From this point, several radical ranges extend westward and eastward. We can see these black lines are representing the mountain ranges. You can see these black lines. They are representing the mountain ranges. Some are westward and some are eastward. Eastward and westward. The Central Highland are actually a part of Himalayan chain which include the main Hindu Kush range. Its area is about 4,14,000 square kilometer. It is a region of deep narrow valleys and lofty mountains, some peaks of which rises about 6,400 meters. Now we will study about the western ranges. The Hindu Kush and the Suleiman ranges extend westward from the Pamir Knot. You can see Hindu Kush ranges. Here we can see these are the Hindu Kush ranges and this is the Suleiman range, and here is the Pamir Knot. So, we can see that the Hindu Kush and the Suleiman ranges extend westward from the Pamir Knot. The Suleiman range extend to the southwest as Kirthar range. Here we can see it is extending to the southwest, and here it is known as the Kirthar range, and then it runs westward. This side we can see it's running westward along with the Arabian Sea. Here is the Arabian Sea. We can see the Arabian Sea here. Arabian Sea as the Zagros mountain. Here it is known as the Zagros. You can see it's written Zagros mountain. It merges with the Elburz mountain. Here we can see Elburz mountain. So, it merges with the Elburz mountain at the Armenian Knot. Here we can see Elburz mountain from this side and Zagros from this side. They merge at the Armenian Knot. Armenian Knot is over here. and then it continues further westward as Taurus mountain. Here you can see then it is again moving westward as a Taurus mountain. In this picture you can see the Suleiman mountains. The Suleiman mountains, we can say that they are the north-south extension of the southern Hindu Kush mountain system and rises to form the eastern edge of the Iranian plateau and the eastern northern edge of the Baluchian plateaus. Now let us know about the Hindu Kush mountain. Here we can see the Hindu Kush mountain. So, the Hindu Kush is an 800 kilometer long mountain ranges. It stretches through Afghanistan. You can see Hindu Kush over here, through Afghanistan. Form its center in the North Pakistan. Here it from Afghanistan, it travels to the North Pakistan and into Tajikistan. It ranges from the western section of the Hindu Kush Himalayas and extend to the Pamir mountains. Pamir mountains are a mountain range between Central Asia, South Asia and East Asia at the junction of the Himalayas with the Tain Shang, Karakoram, Kunlun and Hindu Kush ranges. These ranges are among the world's highest mountains. In this map, you can see the plateau of Iran. This lies between the Elburz mountain, you can see the Elburz mountain over here, Elburz mountain in the north and Zagros mountain in the south. Here you can see the Zagros mountain in the south. The Iranian plateau is also known as the Persian plateau. It is the geological feature of Western and Central Asia. This is the plateau of Anatolia. Anatolia is the large peninsula in the Western Asia and the westernmost part of the Asian continent. It makes up the majority of the modern day Turkey. The plateau of Anatolia lies between the Pontic mountain in the north, here we can see the Pontic mountain in the north, and the Taurus mountain in the south. Here are the Taurus mountain in the south. This region is also known as Asia Minor. Now we will study about the ranges which runs eastward to the Pamir Knot. Eastward to the Pamir Knot. So we can see the Himalayas running eastward, the Karakoram, the Kunlun, the Altanta, Tian Shan, all these are the eastward ranges. The Himalayas or Himalaya is the mountain range in Asia separating the plains of Indian subcontinent from Tibetan plateaus. This range has many of the earth's highest peaks. The Himalayas are the world's largest and the highest mountains. They curve southeastward and then run southwards in the Indo-China peninsula as the Arkan Yoma and Pigu Yoma. Some of the highest peaks of the world are the part of Himalayas like Mount Everest and Kanchenjunga. Mount Everest is the Earth's highest mountain above the sea level. The China-Nepal border runs across its highest peak. Edmund Hillary from New Zealand and Tenzing Norgay from Nepal were the first people to climb Mount Everest. Sir Edmund Hillary was a New Zealand mountaineer and explorer. On 29th May 1953, Hillary and Shepherd mountaineer Tenzing Norgay of Nepal became the first climbers to have reached the highest peak of Mount Everest. The Karakoram Ranges lies in the north of the Himalayas. Mount K2, also known as Godwin Austen, is the highest peak of this range and the second highest in the world. The Kunlun mountain runs eastward from the Pamir Knot and extends into China. Here we can see the Kunlun mountains, which is running eastward from the Pamir Knot towards China. The Altantah, these are the ranges of the Altantah, you can see. The Altantah runs to the northeast direction and then continues into China. From Pamir Knot, it runs to the northeast direction and then continues to China. The Tian Shan is the northernmost range. Here you can see Tian Shan is the northernmost range branching out from Pamir Knot and extend northeastward into China. Two important plateaus lies between these ranges. The plateau of Tibet is the Intermontane Plateau. This is in this map you can see the plateau of Tibet. It is an intermontane plateau. Intermontane plateau means the plateau which lies between two mountains. Here we can see Kunlun mountain in the north and the Himalayan mountain Himalayas in the south. It is the world's highest plateau, hence it is also known as the roof of the world. The plateau of Mongolia lies to the northeast of Altai mountain. You can see Altai mountain over here. The Gobi desert covers its plateau. Here you can see the Gobi desert. Now let's study about the southern plateaus. The southern plateaus are located to the south of central highlands. They mostly form or lies in peninsulas. They rise steeply along the west coast and slope gently towards the east. Their average altitude is lower than the plateau located in the central highlands. They are volcanic in origin and are among the oldest blocks of rocks on earth. As such, these rocks are mainly metamorphic in nature. These plateaus are rich in minerals. The Arabian Plateau lies in the Arabian Peninsula. It is covered by Arabian Desert. The Deccan Plateau forms the Peninsula Plateau in India. It is drained by several rivers like Godavari, Kaveri and Krishna, forming deep valleys. This part is known as Deccan Plateau. The Deccan Plateau seems highly dissected as because it is drained by several rivers. The Shan Plateau lies in the northern of Myanmar. Here we can see Myanmar. To the north of Myanmar, we can see the Shan Plateau. It is mainly drained and dissected by Irrawaddy River. Now we will study about the river basins and valleys. The river basins or river valleys of Asia have immense historical, cultural and economic importance. Many of them are sites of ancient civilization. The river provides huge opportunities for cultivation, fishing, irrigation, navigation and hydropower generation, which in turn give rise to industrialization and urbanization in the valleys. The river valleys of Asia are known for their extremely fertile alluvial plains. Snow-fed, perennial and big river deposit mineral-rich silts in these plains. We will study about important river basins of Asia. The Indo-Gangetic plains in the northern part of India has been formed by the Gangas, Brahmaputra, Indus and their numerous tributaries. The Mesopotamian plains in Iraq have been formed by the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers. The Great Plain of China have been formed by the Huanghe, Shikiang and Yangtze River. In this map, here we can see this part is the Great Plain of China. We can see the Huanghe River over here and Yangtze River you can see here. This river is also known as Yellow River, the Huanghe. In this picture you can see the Huanghe River. This river carries so much silt that it appears yellow in color. Hence, this river is also known as Yellow River. In this map, we can see the plain of Manchuria. This red portion, it is a part of China. It is known as the plain of Manchuria. It lies in the valley of the Amur River in the northeastern part of China. In this map, we can see the Mekong River Basin. The Mekong River Basin spread across the Indonesian peninsula. The plain of Irrawaddy and Salween River also spreads here. There are many islands in Asia, especially along the coast of the Pacific and Indian Oceans. Shallow seas lies between these islands and the Asian mainland. Islands such as Maldives and Sri Lanka are located in the Indian Ocean. Most of this island group consist of numerous large and small islands forming a nation such as Indonesia, Japan. Here you can see Japan, Indonesia, all these are islands. Islands may be made up of corals or volcanic in nature and may consist of mountains, plateaus and valleys on the smaller scales. The Philippine Island is prone to floods and storms because it lies within the belt of typhoons in the Pacific Oceans. The Malay Islands is the world's largest island groups. Important inland located here are Java, Sumatra, Borneo. These islands are submerged fold mountains. These Philippine islands form the part of the Ring of Fire. Here it is a part of the Ring of Fire and have several active volcanoes. As a result, they are prone to frequent earthquake and volcanic eruptions. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands of India are also on the same origin. The Maldives and the Lakshadweeps. These islands are in India and they are the group of several small islands. These islands are made up of corals.